Good Tuesday evening and welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field for this Tuesday night baseball presentation here on the Corn Belt League Network, where today we've got the Rail Riders and the Cropdusters going head-to-head. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin here on the call for this doubleheader. Max, pleased to be back with you. Saw two very competitive games yesterday, ending with a walk-off hit by pitch in the nightcap, and should be two more good ones here today.
Yes, indeed. We have two great pitchers on the mound today. For the Cropdusters, we have Anthony Comfort. Pitched last week for his very first start in the Corn Belt League. I'm very excited to watch him pitch again.
So diving into the Cropdusters' key player, that would be the starting pitcher, Anthony Comfort, making his second start of the season. pitched his first one last Tuesday against the Bombers. And Max, what'd you see from him in that one?
I saw a lot of good things. He had 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, only 3 earned runs in his 3 innings of work. Had 5 strikeouts. He had no walks, which is a good thing. He did have those 2 hit by pitches, which he's got to work on today to minimize all the base runners he has on base. But what I do like about Anthony Comfort is he's more of a 3/4 slot pitcher, and he's a lefty too. So that honestly throws off a lot of. You can throw off the righties and lefties with his 3/4 mix. He throws a really good slider, really good fastball, 2-seam and 4-seam. So I'm also, again, really excited to watch him pitch today.
And the Cropdusters, when Comfort pitched last Tuesday, that was their only win of the season. They are 1-5 on the year, so they'd love to get another solid outing from him, get some run support going early on, and potentially pick up victory number 2. Speaking of 2 victories, that's what the Rail Riders are coming in with, a record of 2-2, 2 games back of the Filth Ballers at the top of the league. Player to watch for them could be the leadoff man, Braden Archer. A lot of speed, can generate walks. As we take you through those Corn Belt League standings, Filth Ballers sitting comfortably at 5-1, picked up a 9-inning victory out in Iowa last night, but not a lot of separation in the middle of the pack. Seeing a lot of teams hovering right around 500, the Rail Riders included. Cropdusters trying to find their way out of the basement, but this week could be a big week to try and generate some separation here in these standings.
Today's a big day for the Cropdusters. You see they're 1-5 going into the 7th game of the season. They got to find a win. They got to find a way to get those wins throughout the season. Even though we're still in the early stretch of the 2022 season, they got to find ways to put on wins to hopefully get into that playoff this year. But so far we saw the Filth Ballers working their magic just like we saw last year, 2021 season, regular season champs and tournament champs. They're so far cruising this year.
And as we get you caught up on the standings, how about the scoreboard from last night? 4 games on Monday night, and here at Seymour Smith, the Bombers took down these Cropdusters 5-2 after a 3-run first inning, and then the Haymakers in extra innings took a 4-3 victory over the Royal Blue Dogs. That was on the walk-off hit by pitch I mentioned earlier. Then over at Iowa Western in Council Bluffs, Filth Ballers blew out the Raiders 10-3. They continue to roll at the top of the standings. Then the Black Sox pulled off the win over the Rail Riders 5-3. So both of these teams coming off fairly close, low-scoring losses, looking to get right back track here today. We'll have first pitch coming up next here on the Corn Belt League Network. Stay with us. Well, welcome back. The national anthem has concluded, but we've still got some entertainment. A standoff is taking place between the Rail Riders' Whit Rogers. He's standing at the first base line, and then one of the non-active players for the Cropdusters on the third base line. They still have not moved.
Let's see. I think the umpire is going over to. There we go.
We need Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, in a situation like this. And finally, they have cleared the baselines, and we're ready to go. Cropdusters taking the field behind their starting pitcher, Anthony Comfort. Let's give you a quick weather report going into today's game. It is hot again. Temperature sitting in the mid to upper 90s. The wind has shifted a bit. You see the flag out in center field blowing a bit more from left to right. They are coming out of the northwest now, the winds, as the cold front has passed through. That cold front's going to sit just southeast of Omaha this evening and could spark some thunderstorms, potentially severe later on tonight. This game should not be in jeopardy, but the 8 o'clock game will be one to watch for that weather. But should be good to go here. Partly cloudy skies as Comfort takes the mound. Starting lineup for the Rail Riders. They'll begin with center fielder Braden Archer in the leadoff spot. Third baseman Alex Hall bats second. DH Liam Kaminsky third. First baseman Whit Rogers fourth. Catcher Jackson Van Pelt fifth. Right fielder Garrett Deathridge sixth. Extra hitter Ben Raveling seventh. Second baseman Nolan Chandler eighth. Left fielder Spencer Lehman ninth. And the shortstop Gabriel Baker bats 10th. And Anthony Comfort on the hill. Second outing of the season, looking to continue from the strong work he put up last Tuesday against the Bombers.
Tyler, I want to talk about the leadoff batter for the Rail Riders today, Braden Archer. Really good at the plate with his eyes. Right now he leads the team with 5 walks so far and only 11 plate appearances. So he's really seeing the ball well. He knows if it's a strike or not. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw him on base quite a bit today.
Yeah, he has as many walks as at bats. He's 1 for 5, just 1 single on the season, but 5 walks. His batting average at 200 and his on-base percentage at 545, and plenty of speed as well. He's got 3 stolen bags on the year, so definitely something to watch as he steps in to lead things off. And with a 5:01 first pitch time, we are ready to go at J.J. Isaacson Field. The southpaw Anthony Comfort looks in. And here we go. First pitch on this Tuesday evening is a strike on the outside. Archer coming in on the season with that 200 batting average. He has scored 4 runs, so he knows how to get on and get moving around those base paths. But he falls to a 1-1 count, as that one just low. Rail Riders coming off a 5-3 loss to the Black Sox yesterday, as there's a 2-1 count now. Things got away from them in the 5th inning when they gave up 5 runs. The Rail Riders out-hit the Black Sox 11-7, but committed 4 errors on the evening, which was the big problem point for them. As the 2-1 from Comfort is down low. 3 consecutive balls, and now a 3-1 count to the Rail Riders leadoff man.
So far, Anthony Comfort has shown his fastball and slider. Not really the thing you would want to do, show all your pitches at the very first batter of the game, and he hasn't gotten those for a strike any time in the count.
Knuckler to second. Braxton Wilhelm charges and throws him out in time. So on 5 pitches, the first out recorded, and that will bring the third baseman Alex Hall to the dish.
Now batting, the third baseman from Buena Vista University, number 48, Alex Hall.
Hall out of Buena Vista University, 1 for 4 with a 250 batting average on the season. That lone base hit was a double. Hasn't been in the lineup since Thursday against the Filth Ballers. As the first pitch to him is cut on and miss, strike 1. Big emphasis for these pitchers in the hot weather, in addition to hydration and staying cool, has been first pitch strikes. That helps to limit the pitch count and avoid those tiresome innings, as this is popped into shallow right field. Trayton Kozel comes in and makes the catch. So 2 quick outs. Comfort off to a fine start here in the first.
big thing for Comfort right here in the early innings is how can he limit his pitch count, and so far in this inning he has done so far with a weak ground ball and a pop fly. It's just when you get that pitch count up, it's a matter of how fatigued can you get in this hot weather and how long can he go. His last start was only 3 innings, and so he's looking to go a little more. He just can't have those long innings of 20 or more pitches to get fatigued.
He faces his first lefty and Liam Kaminsky and fires ball 1. Kaminsky out of Minnesota State Community College, batting .375 on the year. Does have a double, as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and rolled foul past the first base coach and down the line. 1-1 the count, and that one might have sawed off the bat a little bit. The on-deck man, Whit Rogers, snaps it over his leg, and that fires up the dugout. Kaminsky grabs a new piece of lumber.
Seems like Whit Rogers having the most fun today at everybody. He had the standoff first, and now he's having the broken bat off his knee.
Yep, he's a character, that's for sure. Comfort ready with the 1-1. It is on the outside corner. 1-2. Boy, this home plate umpire's got a slow strike call. Might be tough for us broadcasters.
He's already got me a few times on
Yeah.
whether he's going to call a ball or a strike.
Gotta wait a little bit. As the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down for Anthony Comfort. Sets the tone well to begin for the Cropdusters. They'll come to the bat in the bottom of the first when we come back on the Corn Belt League Network.
Cropdusters in the bottom of the first.
Bottom of the first inning, let's run through the Cropdusters batting order. They lead off with shortstop number 6, Jack Tilton, and second baseman Braxton Wilhelm. Center fielder Thatcher Kozel bats third. Third baseman Javon Suarez fourth. Left fielder Kate Owens fifth. Extra hitter Thatcher Kozel sixth. First baseman Easton Barnes seventh. Catcher Nathan Wickham eighth. Pitcher Anthony Comfort ninth. And right fielder Trayton Kozel bats 10th. And they will be facing Garrett Vosika. And as the first pitch is hit in the air to left field, Lehman moves over to his left and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Vosika, who is making his first start of the season. Pitched the 7th inning last Thursday. We'll see how much length the Rail Riders can get out of him today.
Tyler, in that 1 inning of work he had last week, he had 2 hits, 3 runs on him, 0 being earned, though. He did have 1 walk. He did have 2 strikeouts in that 1 inning. So he's a big strike thrower. Should see a lot of things out of him today, especially that weak fly ball to get that first out.
First pitch to Braxton Wilhelm is taken for a strike. He showed bunt. I apologize, batting 6th for the Cropdusters is not Thatcher Kozel. It's Thatcher Poteet. He's the extra hitter. A 1 pitch. Just off the outside, count even at 1-1. Wilhelm did not start yesterday for the Cropdusters. last appeared against the Royal Blue Dogs on Sunday, going 0 for 2, reaching on an error and driving in a run. As he goes through on that one for a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Vosica struck out 2 in his lone inning of work, which was the 7th inning against the Filth Ballers last Thursday. Looking for his first one here, and he gets it. Swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside, and a quick 2 outs in the first.
Now batting, the center fielder from South Dakota State University, number 31, Thatcher Kozel.
So that brings up Thatcher Kozel, the center fielder from South Dakota State. He also was not in the lineup yesterday. Comes in with a batting average of 111, 1 for 9 on the year. And takes a high curveball. That one got away from Vosica. Both corner infielders playing in very close to the line. As this is taken, and it's on the outside corner for strike 1.
Tyler, like I mentioned yesterday, the Cropdusters, only with 17 players on their team, that is the least in the Corn Belt League. Most teams have 24. Just because they're the brand new team in the league, they have some disadvantages on their team, whether that's hitters or pitchers.
Hall goes out into foul territory and makes the catch, and it's a lightning quick first inning for Garrett Vosica. We're scoreless through 1 on the Corn Belt League Network.
After 1 inning of play, there's no score.
Top of the second inning, Whit Rogers coming to bat for the Rail Riders, and the first inning belonged to the pitchers. Garrett Vosica of the Rail Riders only needed 8, and the man on the mound now, Anthony Comfort for the Cropdusters, only threw 11. Max, you saw both these guys attacking first pitch strikes, getting swings and misses, not hard contact, doing everything you'd want to get a game started.
A lot of Garrett Vosica's pitches were his fastball. He threw that one curveball, and that almost went back to the backstop. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him mix in that curveball in the bottom of the second. But so far, Anthony Comfort has mixed in his slider a lot recently in that first inning, which is I wouldn't really expect that from him, because in his outing last week, he mixed in that slider or that fastball a lot in the early counts. And so far in the very first batter of the game, he mixed in that slider 3 or 4 times. So very interesting approach from Anthony Comfort, but it seems to work for him as he went 1, 2, 3 in that first.
Fouled back by Whit Rogers. The count is 1-2. Rogers comes in batting .286. OPS of .686. Went 1 for 4 with a single. Grounded into a double play. Struck out yesterday as he fouls this one off. He also made the final out on a ground out. His team was down by 2 and the bases were loaded. It was a big situation and couldn't come through, but as you could tell by the pregame antics, he's got a short-term memory. 1-2 pitch from Comfort. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Catcher Jackson Van Pelt is on deck. Comfort looking for strikeout number 2. And he gets a roller between third and short. Suarez makes the play in time. 4 up, 4 down to begin the outing.
Tyler, we saw that lip over there on the left side yesterday was kind of a problem. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that again because, you know, a lot of these college players, they play on that turf field and they have all those natural hops. And when they get over here to J.J. Isaacson Field, you have those lips and really bad hops in the outfield on some of those spots. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that lip be a problem today because we saw it yesterday for the Cropdusters be a problem.
So Jackson Van Pelt steps in. He's the catcher batting 5th. And he takes a first pitch strike. Van Pelt comes in 0 for 1 on the season. His only at bat of the year came on Sunday when he went 0 for 1 with 2 hit by pitches and a walk. And he falls behind 0-2. Nice display of an off-speed pitch there from Comfort. Looking for a strikeout on 3 pitches. The 0-2 pitch. Lifted behind short. Could be a tough play, but Tilton ranges out and makes the catch. 2 down in the top of the second.
So far, Comfort mixing in that great pitch sequence. He's been ahead in the count every single at-bat so far, and he's been mixing in that slider both 2 times in that pitch, and you just saw that little soft pop out to the left side. So far, doing a great job mixing in both of those pitches, and it's exactly what you need if you're Jerry Jones asking for your starting pitcher.
Here is Garrett Deathridge out of Wayland Baptist University taking a low ball 1. Picked up his first action at the plate yesterday, going 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. 1-0 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. Count even at 1-1. Some of the big boppers are out of the lineup today for the Rail Riders. Derek Einertson, he has an OPS of 962. He is not in there. Same story with Keegan McLaughlin, who leads the team with an on-base percentage of .636. Count now 2-1 on Deathridge. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside corner. It's 2-2. An opportunity now for Comfort to make it through 2 innings with less than 25 pitches thrown. Here comes his 23rd. It's rolled toward third base, but bounces foul, so it remains 2-2. Pretty good crowd on hand here for game 1. Pushing through the hot temperatures as the 2-2 pitch is in the dirt. Bounces away from the catcher, Nathan Wickham, and the count is full. Deathridge just trying to get something started here at the plate, even if it's a 2-out walk. The offense has been quiet so far as Comfort has navigated through just fine. Here comes the 3-2. Raveling is on deck if needed, and he will not be needed. Struck him out looking. A perfectly placed off-speed pitch on the outside corner, and it's 6 up, 6 down to begin the ball game for Anthony Comfort. Scoreless to the bottom of the second.
Owens and Posey.
Northeast Athletic Department is currently seeking businesses for the 2022 Hawks Boosters corporate sponsorship campaign. Email Jared Mills at jmills2@northeast.edu for more information on becoming a part of the Northeast Athletic Department team today. And today it's been a pitcher's duel here at J.J. Isaacson Field to get things going. 2 perfect innings for Anthony Comfort as this is barreled into left field. And the perfection broken up for Garrett Vosica. There's a base hit to left by Jovan Suarez, the third baseman. And a promising start to the second for the Cropdusters.
Now batting, the left fielder.
Garrett Vosica so far, even though he just gave up that first hit, working really consistent in the zone, in and out of the outer half. Gave up that one little hit right there. Wasn't too big of a hit, so I'm not really too much worried about him on that.
Bunt is down from Cade Owens, the left fielder. Vosica fields his position, throws him out. Now the runner going to third, and they'll have him out there too. Suarez thought he could beat the third baseman Hall to the bag over there. He could not, and it's a double play. Score at 1-3-5 for the Rail Riders.
Not a bad decision over there by Suarez, because if I was him, I honestly would have probably done the same thing too, because he's running over to second base. He doesn't see anybody over there because third baseman crashes up for the bunt, but it's just he was a little too late to it because third baseman was already charging back to third base, and by that time, Whit Rogers already threw it over to third. But not a bad decision over there by Suarez, just couldn't really come out with it.
First pitch to Thatcher Poteet is upstairs for ball 1. Poteet is the extra hitter today, so after an 8-pitch first inning, Vosica gets 2 outs on 2 pitches in the second, but he fires outside consecutively to Poteet. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Tyler, we saw Poteet on the mound yesterday in his 4 innings of work on the mound.
Gave up 3 runs. Took the loss as this is in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1. Just upstairs. Poteet works ahead to a 3-1 count. The first baseman, Easton Barnes, is on deck. As Poteet swings and misses on the outside, 3-2. Comes in with a 200 batting average. Last appeared at the plate on Sunday, going 1 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, run scored. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Reaches out and slaps it foul back toward the bullpen. Count remains 3-2, and it's just a good piece of hitting if you don't get something you like, but it's close to the zone. Just got to find a way to reach out and make contact to stay in there. And so face another 3-2 from Vosica. Makes contact again, popped up. Shallow right, Deathridge comes in and makes the catch. Another brief inning for Vosica on the mound, and we are scoreless going to the third. Cropdusters and Rail Riders on the Corn Belt League Network.
Rail Riders and Cropdusters.
Back for the top of the third inning. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin on a Tuesday evening in Omaha. Rail Riders and Cropdusters knotted at zeros. As we'll see Ben Raveling, the extra hitter, leading off against Anthony Comfort, who has worked 2 perfect innings to begin the day. First pitch from Comfort. Just inside for ball 1. Just one combined base runner between these two teams. It was the leadoff single in the bottom of the second by Suarez. He was quickly thrown out at third on a bunt, as there's a check swing foul ball to even it at 1-1. And Max, we saw it all day yesterday. It's such a big difference maker for these pitchers. If you can avoid those walks, those hit by pitches, there's a good chance that you can go long in the game and have a strong outing, and these two pitchers are certainly doing it to start.
That is currently what we're seeing right now. Anthony Comfort currently sitting at a 63% strike percentage, which is exactly what you can ask for. And Garrett Vosika on the other side is sitting at a 70% strike percentage, which is even better. And he's only thrown 17, and Comfort's is at 27 right now with 17 strikes. So currently both pitchers cruising through the second inning, which is exactly what you can ask for.
Wow. I pulled off the announcer jinx, as he does hit a batsman 2 pitches after I bring up the fact that nobody has yet. So the leadoff man is on. Ben Raveling is at first. Nobody out, and now Nolan Chandler will get a chance to move him over.
Tyler, that was a common trend in Anthony Comfort's last start last week. He had 2 hit by pitches in his 3 innings of work, and we just saw that last hit by pitch. So it seems like that kind of is kind of his trend when he's on the bump, but nonetheless, so far it's currently working. And the other thing I do like about Anthony Comfort is when he does have runners on base, he tends to keep really close attention to him, which is exactly what you need to do as a pitcher.
Good spot on the outside. Strike 1 to Nolan Chandler. Out of Anoka Ramsey Community College, he's looking for his first hit of the year, coming in with a line of 0 for 7. He did walk twice yesterday and bring in a run. 1 pitch, another well-placed off speed, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Tilton, the shortstop. Wilhelm, the second baseman for the Cropdusters, got to be thinking about a double play, as Comfort is thinking about a pickoff as he throws over to the first baseman, Easton Barnes.
Tyler, you take a look over in the middle infielders, not really playing too tight for that double play depth, but nonetheless they have all the range in the world to get over there and make that play.
Here's the 0-2. Knuckled foul, as it was in on the hands of Chandler. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Both pitchers have been very efficient to start the game. Comfort was at 27 pitches through 2 innings. He's at 32 now. As this is outside, 1-2 the count now.
Biggest thing here for Comfort is to not lose Chandler, because if Chandler gets on base, he is a very speedy guy, and you cannot have 2 runners on base with no outs. That's just asking for something destructive.
Foul back again off the top of the screen. Chandler doing a nice job fighting off pitches. He'll step out of the box. Comfort will take a moment to think through his next move. Raveling takes his lead off first. He started the inning with a hit by pitch. Here comes another 1-2. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chandler, after taking 2 well-located pitches on the outside corner, seems to have a much better feel now for that outside part of the strike zone. See if Comfort can hit his spot. He'll throw back over to first. That's a quick pickoff move, but Raveling back in time.
Fun fact about Nolan Chandler at the plate right now, He is out of Omaha, Nebraska. He went to Burke High School for his 4 years of high school. So hometown guy, fun to see him back here in Omaha to play in the Corn Belt League.
No doubt about it, as that is on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Can't paint the corner much better than that. Anthony Comfort with strikeout number 3. And now Spencer Lehman. Lehman is the left fielder. Batting 167 on the year. Had a tough day last night, going 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pickoff move, and now they've got him trapped between first and second. The throw to second is high, and now Raveling runs back and is tagged out by the first baseman, rather the pitcher himself, Comfort, as he got over there, and there's 2 outs as the pickoff move pays dividends for Anthony Comfort.
Tyler, like I mentioned earlier in this inning, I said that once Anthony Comfort gets runners on base, he likes to keep close attention to him, and that's exactly what he did there, and it's an easy way to get an out. Especially if on a lefty, it's the easiest pickoff move to first base, and most times we saw that last week. I think he had 1 or 2 pickoff moves that got runners out on first base in his first outing, and we just saw that one right there. So great pickoff move and tag by Anthony Comfort.
First pitch to Lehman, fouled off to the right side. 0-1, so both these pitchers, Comfort and Vosica, if Comfort can record this out, will have faced the minimum despite giving up a base runner in their first 3 innings of work. So it's 1-1. Outfield playing fairly shallow here on Lehman. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Comfort got him out in front on an off speed. He's ahead 1-2. Looking to make it 4 strikeouts and back-to-back Ks to end the inning. Now the 1-2 pitch. Sails outside again. He's got some good run on that fastball today, but not enough to be competitive that time. 2-2.
And Tyler, when you're a pitcher that has run on your fastball, you got to be able to locate that one in and out. Because if you have run on it and you don't know how to locate it, that ball is just going to go outer half every single time. And most of the times, you're not going to get that pitch for a strike.
Fouled off to the right side, lands on the mound of the Rail Riders bullpen. Still 2-2. Comfort at 42 pitches. Here's number 43, and again it misses outside. Count now 3-2. 43 pitches, 27 strikes. Now the 3-2. Low and in. It's ball 4. And now the bottom of the order, 10-hole hitter Gabriel Baker, the shortstop, will dig in, trying to get a 2-out rally going.
Looks like there might have been a little miscommunication there from Wickham and Comfort. Comfort not really liking the pitch calling that Wickham is calling, but nonetheless, Anthony Comfort still working in a great spot right here. Even though he got the walk, he's got 2 outs here. We're looking for a big-time out to get in the dugout and hopefully get the Cropdusters a run on the board.
Baker has been a sneaky good hitter to start the year for the Rail Riders, as he takes a first pitch strike on the outside. He's batting .500, going 3 for 6. He's driven in a run and had a productive day yesterday, going 2 for 3 and stealing a base. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a high pop-up into right center field. Kozel and Kozel converge, and it's Trayton making the catch for out number 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Rail Riders trying to keep it scoreless as the Cropdusters look to get on the board first when we come back.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, Your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Bottom of the third inning at J.J. Isaacson Field. It's been a brisk first 2.5 between the Rail Riders and Cropdusters. 0-0 the score as we go to the bottom of the third. Just one hit between these two teams, and it came to lead off the second from the Cropdusters, as this is outside ball one to the first baseman, Easton Barnes. Garrett Vosika goes back to work. Incredibly efficient start, throwing 18 pitches through the first two, and he gets a big cut and a miss for strike one. 1-1 the count.
Tyler, so far we've seen an incredible pitcher's duel so far here through 2 innings, and so far as Vosika is not having any signs of fatigue or stopping that. So it should be interesting to see what they do in the upcoming innings of how much he can go. Because so far Vosika, very limited, very low pitch count. On the other hand, Anthony Comfort at 46 after that, kind of struggling inning, only 1 walk and a hit by pitch, but still scoreless on the board. But just it depends how much Jared Jones is going to keep Anthony Comfort out there with his pitch count going up to 46.
3-1 pitch. Catches the bottom outside corner. 3-2 now on Barnes. So if nothing else, the Cropduster first baseman has done well to raise the pitch count just a bit. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, fouled off to the right side. That will go over the bullpen. Wind is not as considerable as it was yesterday, but still blowing out about 5 to 10 miles an hour toward right. Another 3-2 pitch on the outside corner. Boy, both these left-handed pitchers have been working that arm side corner to perfection, and there's another looking strikeout, number 2 for Vosika.
Tyler, you mentioned the wind a little bit ago. Usually as a hitter, you want to use that to your advantage, but so far, no hitter in this game has used that to their advantage as both pitchers are currently cruising. Only 1 hit on the board, and that 1 hit was a weak fly ball, so nonetheless, hitters aren't really using that wind to dead center to their advantage.
First pitch strike to Nathan Wickham. He's the catcher out of the College of St. Scholastica. And a sword there on that high pitch. 0-2 the count. Wickham leads the team with an on-base percentage of .556. Went 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout yesterday. The 0-2 low. We'll see another one as the count goes to 1-2. Vosika brings it home. It's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count now. Vosika ready again. And that's barreled up into center field and just out of the reach of Baker at short. And it's another base hit. Wickham with the second of the day for the Cropdusters.
Tyler, I'm gonna get a little analytical here on the stat book, but I'm looking at Gamechanger right now, and they have an option here on team quality at bats. Quabs, you say. So far, pitchers doing a great job of only holding both teams to an even 4 after the Cropdusters just got that hit there. So great job so far by both pitchers. As I mentioned again, they're currently cruising only 4 quality at bats, and quality at bats equal is like hits, walks, hit by pitches. So so far, pitchers doing a great job of holding the quality at bats down to a limited number.
So here comes the pitcher, Anthony Comfort, trying to give himself some run support. Outside, 1-1. He's been very much a playable hitter to start the season, going 2 for 6. His OPS is a team high 929. And he doubled in yesterday's loss to the Bombers. The 1-1. That is roped into left field, a base hit. The barrels keep coming for the Cropdusters. The runner, Wickham, will stop at second, and now we've got 2 on, 1 out. Dusters in business in the bottom of the third.
Big time position here for Garrett Vosica. You got to do as much as you can to minimize the runners on base. So you got 1 out. You just can't have both those runners go into both scoring positions, even though you have Wickham on second base, which is scoring position. Big time spot right here for the Cropdusters to try to put some on the board.
Number 35, Trayton Kozel.
And it's Trayton Kozel, the right fielder. What a time this would be for his first hit of the summer. He's 0 for 7 on the year. First pitch to him. Like a curveball, and it finds the strike zone for an 0-1 count. This is really Vosica's first rough inning. He gave up a leadoff single in the second, but that was quickly turned into a double play. As this is chopped, foul ball down the first base line, and he's ahead 0-2. Barnes struck out looking to start the inning, then Wickham singled to center, and another single down the left field line from Anthony Comforts, but 2 on. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it as he fouls it back. Kozel staying alive. Still behind 0-2. Vosica brings it home again, and he got him on an off-speed pitch. Big swing and a miss. And a big-time strikeout for Vosica as he'll turn it over to Tilton at the top of the order.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there for Vosica to get Kozel out and get the second out of the inning. So now it doesn't really matter about that double play depth, about any of that. You just got to get a ball in play or a strikeout, and you end the inning here.
So here is Tilton. Flew out to left on the first pitch. Vosica threw, and that one bounces away from Van Pelt. It'll allow both runners to advance, and now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. So the off-speed has been great so far for Vosica, but it finally bites him on a ball in the dirt.
And those ones are for the catchers. Those are the hardest ones to block because you don't really know where that off-speed is going to go. And when you see and you got runners in scoring position, and you have a runner in scoring position, your worry is on him too. So when you have that ball in the dirt, that's your last thing that you want to happen is have that ball go away in the dirt. So now it puts both runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
On the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Tilton had a big day yesterday in the loss to the Bombers, going 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles to extend his team lead to 3 as he whacks this one foul. That'll go a long way off to the left side. And it's 1-2. Tilton also the team leader in RBI with 3. There's the 1-2. Just off the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vosica has thrown more pitches in this third inning alone than he did in the first 2 combined. He's at 39 total. Here comes his 2-2. Fouled off again.
We ask that you please turn off foul balls to the first or third base.
Tilton putting together a productive at bat. So it looks like we have Caleb Copeland at third, pinch running for Nathan Wickham. as this one is low and away. And then also at second base, Logan Davis pinch running for the pitcher Comfort.
First time we've seen today Vosika get really behind in the count here, throwing a lot of balls in this third inning of work. And we see it so far here with both runners in scoring position in a 3-2 count.
On the ground, past the mound, tough play, and it's not in time as the throw's away. 2 runs will score, and the Cropdusters take a 2-0 lead on a well-placed base hit by Jack Tilton.
Big time hit there by Jack Tilton. Even though I don't think it was the hit that he was hoping for, it really got off the end of that wood bat right there, and it took a weird hop in the grass over on that left side. And it was a kind of a miscue communication there by the left side third baseman and the shortstop on who was going to get that ball. But nonetheless, great hit by Jack Tilton as a little blooper on the left side and score 2.
So 3 singles in the inning for the Cropdusters as there's a first pitch strike to Braxton Wilhelm, and all of a sudden, a highly efficient start has turned into 2 earned runs for Vosika. Oh, 2 the count now, and this is a welcome sign for the Cropdusters. The offense has been the problem point this season. Their batting average as a team is sitting at 144, and their OPS at 435. Their minus 27 run differential is worse than the league as the pickoff move was successful in getting the runner to go, but now he'll go all the way to third. Another throw gets away, and it goes into the dugout. And on a pickoff move that initially worked, a run comes in from first. Jack Tilton making it happen, and it's 3-0.
Tyler, that is the best example of the snowball effect. Vosika gets that great pickoff move like we saw Anthony Comfort use in that the second inning of work, but and then he throw it first baseman Whit Rogers throws it away at second base. Then it just goes into left field, and again the snowball effect happens. And when the ball goes into the dugout in these type of dugouts, you get an automatic free base. So great running by Jack Tilton to force that snowball effect, and now puts the Cropdusters up by 3.
So he'll get a steal of second base, and then gets to third on a throwing error, and then gets to home on another throwing error. Here's the 1-2 to Wilhelm. He knuckles this one towards second. Chandler moves to his left and throws him out in time. But a 3 spot in the bottom of the third for the Cropdusters. They're fired up, heading back out defensively. The Rail Riders will look to make amends when we go to the top of the 4th up next.
End up for the Rail Riders on the top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th inning. Rail Riders come to the plate here looking to bounce back from a defensive disaster, and they committed 3 in that 3rd inning alone. Back.
Tyler, we saw the same thing, errors, or the team has 3 errors, and it's kind of a thing that we don't really, same thing happened yesterday for the Cropdusters.
Well, Vosika's given up hits. There's nothing yet for the Rail Riders, as Artser gets ahead 2-0. As Wilhelm just could not get to it in time from second base. And Artser continues to find ways on base. He's got a team leading 3 stolen bases.
The third baseman from Buena Vista University.
Something to watch for as Alex Hall comes up.
Hall.
Big thing for the Rail Riders right here. They got to tag on. They got to start a train of hits or ways to get runners on base if they want to have any way of coming back in this game, getting into the mid-half of this game.
Throw over to first, not in time. We've seen one successful pickoff move from Comfort in this one, and then the one that Vosika tried that got the runner caught between first and second ended up with 2 throwing errors and the run scoring on the play. As the first pitch home to Hall is in for a strike. Hall flew out to right field back in the first. Braden Artser has scored 4 runs in his last 3 games. He's at first base after the infield single as Hall takes in the dirt, blocked well by Nathan Wickham, even at 1-1.
Archer taking some healthy leads over there at first base, even though he knows that Comfort is not afraid to pick him off many times in a row. So kind of interesting by Archer. Maybe Archer thinking about stealing a base, but with the leads he's taking. But I think he's got to know in the back of his head that Anthony Comfort is not scared to pick over.
Throw over was closer that time, but still safe as Artser. 1-1 now. As Hall steps back in again. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up into right field. Trayton Kozel drifts toward the line and makes the catch for out number 1. So a second fly out to right field by Alex Hall, and now the DH Liam Kaminsky will dig in.
From Minnesota State Community College, number 0, Liam Kaminsky.
Kaminsky ended the first inning with a swinging strikeout. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's taken, and the throw bounces on into center field. That allows Artser to go to third. He picks up stolen base number 4 and takes another on the throwing error. And now an opportunity with the man 90 feet away for the Rail Riders to get on the board.
Like I mentioned earlier, I said I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Archer steal a bag, and it's exactly what he did. And it snowballed again, and he got to third base with only 1 out here. So great spot here for the Rail Riders to try to put 1 more on the board.
And the pitch was a ball, so here's the 1-0. Kaminsky slices this one into left field. Could be trouble, and it's just out of the reach of Owens. Cade Owens in left field laid out for it, lost his hat. It did land in foul territory, so 1-1 the count.
Probably a better thing that Cade Owens didn't catch that ball because he had to lay out for that one, and you never know Archer with the speed. He could have tagged up on that play, and Cade Owens diving for that ball. Maybe not have gotten up fast enough to get him out at home, so probably a better idea that Cade Owens didn't really catch that ball.
0-2 the count, actually. The stolen base pitch was called a strike. Here's the 0-2. It drifts outside. A ball and 2 strikes on Kaminsky. Down the 1-2. Ground ball. This will get the run home, and it'll squirt into right field for a base hit. Liam Kaminsky drives in Braden Artser, and the Rail Riders are on the board. It's 3-1.
Big time hit over there by Liam Kaminsky to finally put the Rail Riders on the board going into the 4th inning. So a little damage here for Anthony Comfort, nothing too big. He still can pitch with the lead as they're still winning by 2 runs. So nothing too really hurt over there by Anthony Comfort. Anthony Comfort with 54 pitches, still holding that good strike percentage at 63%. So not really too much hurt over there on the mound for Anthony Comfort. Still got to pitch with the lead and pitch with dominance.
Throw over to first, not nearly in time. The first baseman, Whit Rogers, comes to the plate. He grounded out to third in the 2nd inning. First pitch to Rogers. Reaches out, pokes it back over the Rail Rider dugout for a foul ball. The run will not be an earned run for Anthony Comfort due to the error committed on the throw to second on the stolen base. Here's the 0-1. Rogers takes, and it's low. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. You just know with this Rail Rider offense, even if you shut him out through 3, you're not going to hold him down for long, averaging 6 runs per game to start the season. As the 1-1 is down and off the plate, 2-1 the count. Kaminsky has yet to attempt a stolen base this year. Standing over at first. Takes a healthy lead. And we'll have to go right back. Count still 2-1. Comfort brings it home, and it's an off-speed pitch at the top of the zone. Rogers takes it, and it's 2-2.
We take a look over there at first base, Liam Kaminsky, very jumpy on the base pass, and that can sometimes be a good thing because you can throw off the pitcher. On the other hand, it could be a really bad thing because when you get a little too jumpy, you get a little less attention or a little less focus, and you lose focus of that, and then if a pitcher picks over and you're still jumping, that could cause some bad things.
Popped up out of play for a foul ball, still 2-2. Comfort has reached 61 pitches. Just about 60% of them going for strikes. There's another 2-2 on the way. Rogers takes, and it's just off the outside corner. You can tell Comfort wanted it, but he doesn't get it. Count full now.
Comfort a little frustrated with the umpire's calls. Like you mentioned earlier, he has kind of a slow call, so you can't really judge if it's a strike or ball until a few seconds after umpire actually really calls it.
Here comes the 3-2. Instead, a throw over to first. Jackson Van Pelt, the catcher, is on deck. Comfort, a very quick throw over to first. Did it basically as he was stepping back onto the mound. He's really concerned about Kaminsky over there, but he does get back safely again. Now he comes set. The 3-2 pitch. Off the outside corner again. Rogers with some major league takes. And he gets on with a walk, 2 aboard with 1 down.
Now batting, the catcher.
A lot of pickoff moves from Comfort today. I wish we had a stat here in the book. I wish we could see how many pickoffs Comfort has actually thrown today. Sometimes when you have too many pickoffs attempts and you pay too much attention to the runners on bases, you kind of lose focus of the actual batter at the plate, and especially when it's a 3-2 count, you're looking to get a big strikeout or an out pitch, you kind of lose focus on that hitter, and exactly what Anthony Comfort just did on that 3-2 count, and now he has 2 runners on base.
This one knocked out of play by Van Pelt, the catcher. 0 for 1 on the day, popped out to short. back in the second inning. Has not driven in a run yet this year. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a bullet down the right field line, but it's foul. One of the harder hit baseballs we've seen today. Van Pelt now finds himself down 0-2. Got to tell our first baseline cameraman, Alex Tejan, to look out. That was turned on by Van Pelt. Another 0-2 coming from Anthony Comfort. Instead, Van Pelt will step out of the box for a moment, now back in. Oh-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Thatcher Kozel comes in, makes the catch. Neither of the runners will tag, and there are 2 down.
Now batting, the right fielder from Wayland Baptist, number 31, Garrett Dethridge.
So it's the right fielder, Garrett Dethridge, looking to keep the inning alive. Rail Riders have gotten 1. Archer started it with a single, then stole second. Hall flew out to right. Archer got to third on an error, and then Liam Kaminsky drove him in with a single. Rogers walked, as this is cut on and missed by Dethridge for strike 1. He went down looking for the final out of the second. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right field. It will be caught by Trayton Kozel, so the damage limited to a single run. The Cropdusters carrying a 3-1 lead to the bottom of the 4th and looking to expand when we come back.
And due up for
Bottom of the 4th inning. Cropdusters, as you mentioned earlier, Max, have 17 players, but they are 17 happy players today, working with a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 4th. Thatcher Kozel leads things off. As he takes ball 1 on the inside. Got a score update from Iowa Western. The Field Ballers just continue to dominate. As this is turned on foul, Alex Tejan has to duck over there. 1-1. The Field Ballers beat the Black Sox 11-0 at Iowa Western. So the Field Ballers improved to 6-1, trying to run away with the league, and we're only a week and a half in. As this is taken low, 2 balls and a strike. Garrett Vosica back to work on the mound. He gave up 3 runs in the 3rd, 1 of them earned. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin on the call here on the Corn Belt League Network. Hot Tuesday afternoon. As this is hit high in the air, deep down the right field line, but foul. It had home run distance, but it was just to the right of the foul pole. It's 325 feet down that line, but boy, that was crushed.
That ball was probably the farthest ball I've seen hit in the Corn Belt League this year so far, besides the very first game when Spencer Crane hit that ball to the left field. But nonetheless, that ball was pieced.
Do have a couple fans sitting right by the right field foul pole, so hopefully they got a souvenir out of that. But a big swing and a miss on the ensuing 2-2 pitch. Kozel down on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Vosica.
Tyler, during this time of every game, I usually like to start talking about when teams like to start going to the bullpens. But so far, I'm looking over. I'm not seeing a lot of life in either bullpen. And if out for the Cropdusters, Anthony Comfort, he doesn't need any bullpen. So far, he's cruising through 4 innings of work, and the same thing here for Vosica. But both of them at Vosica at 51 pitches right now, Anthony Comfort at 68. So Anthony Comfort has a little more. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw for the Cropdusters to go to the bullpen before the Rail Riders, but nonetheless, I don't really see them going to the bullpen anytime soon in the next 1 or 2 innings because both pitchers are cruising, even though Vosica has given up 3 runs, only one of them being earned though.
Count 1-1 on Jovan Suarez. He singled, but was victimized by that double play as this is hit in the air to left. Shortstop Baker goes out and makes the catch in front of Lehman and left. 2 down as Cade Owens will dig in for the Cropdusters.
Cade Owens, we saw on the mound yesterday in relief for the Cropdusters, had his came in that unfortunate situation with runners on second and third, but nonetheless gave up no earned runs in his 2 innings of work. So kind of a two-way player we see here for the Cropdusters, another one of 7 pitchers that the Cropdusters have on their very limited stacked team.
Owens swinging first pitch, high fly ball, center field. Artser barely has to move, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Vosica, keeping his team in the game. Cropdusters 3, Rail Riders 1, as we go to the 5th on the Corn Belt League Network.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Top of the 5th inning. Rail Riders down by 2, looking to mount a comeback. We saw a come-from-behind victory by the Haymakers last night when they beat the Royal Blue Dogs 4-3 in 8 innings. We'll see the Blue Dogs later tonight.
Tyler, fun fact, yesterday the walk-off hit by pitch is not only the first one, but the second one we have seen so far in the Corn Belt League this year. So kind of a trend that we've seen. So kind of an interesting way to end a game, but we've seen it 2 times already. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it again because it's been a trend. So it's kind of a funny way to see a game end.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to see. That was a fun game. Saw some great pitching down the stretch from Zach Tanabe of the Haymakers to give his team a chance to walk it off, and that they did. as this is popped up right in front of us, and catcher Wickham cannot run it down, so the count 1-1 on Ben Raveling, the extra hitter. He was hit by a pitch and then caught stealing back in the third. Second time he's led off an inning today.
Tyler, I always wonder if this chain link fence in front of us is actually tall enough to protect the ball from coming right back at us and hitting us in the window. I always wonder that.
There's a little opening over to my left, right in front of where Jade and Taylor Evan are sitting. Our producer and director. So it would probably have to be them instead of us to make a catch.
We can't let Jaden or Ethan get hit by a ball.
1-2 pitch, fouled away. As Jaden's telling me, we got 2 POs over here. Got to make a play. Pitchers are athletes. We saw some nice plays by the pitchers yesterday. Haven't seen anything yet today.
Pitchers being an athlete, that's always a debate that could spark a few arguments, because you never know what pitcher you're going to get, because I know on one hand, Jaden Taylor, being the athlete he is, could really make a play.
2-2 the count on Ben Raveling. Blown away, full count. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors for the Rail Riders. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Cropdusters. Comfort stepped off for a moment, now ready to go. 3-2 pitch. Roped down the left field line. It's foul. Well, we've seen more barrels in this game alone, I think, than we saw in both games combined yesterday. A lot of shots down the lines. Just not quite keeping them fair.
Just a lot of those hits down the line are, a lot of the times we see them be maybe 1 or 2 feet away from reaching fair, and you never know if those balls reach fair. With the grass being quite short here in the outfield, you never know how far those are going to roll and what you could give the hitter, and we just saw a walk.
Off speed got away from him. It's a walk, and Ben Raveling is on for the second time to lead off an inning.
No life yet being seen in the Cropdusters dugout, even though we're in the Cropdusters bullpen, even though Anthony Comfort is at 76 pitches going into his 5th inning of work. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some action getting moving in the bullpen, as I am starting now to see some players walking out there, but wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Comfort doesn't get out of this inning without any damage, or doesn't get out of this inning without any damage. Wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see a pitching change going in later into this game.
The second baseman, Nolan Chandler, struck out looking in the 3rd. And he takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Raveling has not been a speed threat yet this year. He has not had many opportunities to stand at first as he's back in safely, but no attempts at a steal to this point. I should say no attempts at a steal up until the start of the game. He was caught stealing back in the 3rd. As he's back in safely. It wasn't really a true steal, as the ball never came to home plate. The pitcher, Comfort, made his pickoff move, and he had already taken off and was quickly caught in a pickle. Here's the 0-1 to Chandler. That sails up and away. Nice job to glove it by the catcher, Wickham, 1-1.
I will say, though, Ryan's lead on first base is a lot less healthy than he did in the very first inning when he got picked off. But thing is, though, Anthony Comfort still keeping a lot of his attention on the base runners, and we've seen that all game so far, and you just don't really know how much that could help a pitcher, because, yes, it's not a bad thing to keep some of your attention on base runners, but when you keep that much attention on him, it kind of contributes onto a negative start on the mound towards pitching, as he's gotten himself down in the count now.
In the dirt, it is Cole Ryan who's pinch running over at first, and he has stolen a base this year. 2-1 the count. There's action now in the Cropduster bullpen. That's Blake Peabody from William Penn as the runner goes now, and the second baseman late getting there, and he dropped the ball as Wickham's throw was in on a bounce. Ryan has stolen base number 2.
Great throw by Wickham over to second base. He had that one hop. A.J. Tilton just couldn't get in his glove on the one hop. He probably would have gotten him out at second base if Tilton did get that throw over there, but nonetheless, great throw behind the dish by Wickham.
Got a good look at Peabody warming up in the pen. Right-hander. In between his freshman and sophomore seasons. As the 2-2 home to Chandler is popped up. This will stay in play. The first baseman, Easton Barnes, is there to make the catch. And there's a 1 out in the 5th. So that'll be the left fielder, Spencer Lehman. He walked back in the 3rd.
Spencer Lehman.
Comfort just threw his 80th pitch. So I think we can safely say that this will be his final inning, as Peabody's getting plenty of time to throw over in the pen. Comfort's pitch, wave and a miss from Lehman, strike 1.
Big difference about Peabody in the bullpen right now is that Anthony Comfort is more of a 3/4 sidearm slot pitcher. Peabody, on the other hand, is straight over the top. So could be a challenge for the Rail Riders hitters as they have to adjust to that and go from the 3/4 slot over to the over the hand, straight over the top.
That's a good point. Hitters have seen the ball pretty well off these starting pitchers. Seeing all kinds of hard hits, both fair and foul. As the 1-1 is taken, and it's on the outside for a strike. 1-2. Lehman is not driven in a run this year. Now would be a great time with Ryan leading off second. Rail Riders again having to play from behind. Remember yesterday they gave up 5 in the 5th inning against the Black Sox and ended up on the losing end of it 5-3. Now Comfort ready with the 1-2. And he went around. Off-speed pitch had him all fooled around. And it's a strikeout swinging for out number 2.
We've seen quite a few swords today in this game so far from Anthony Comfort, so not a bad thing as you, if you're a pitcher, you like to see some of those swords that you get, you like to feel good about yourself. And no Trevor Bauer here, though. I don't really like the sword celebration on the mound, but it's always a good feeling when you're a pitcher to get the sword from hitters.
4 strikeouts for Comfort. And now it is the bottom of the order. Gabriel Baker, he's the shortstop, flew out to right to end the 3rd inning. Comfort fires in the dirt, ball 1. Couple strides at second from Ryan, but he goes back. Baker has hit safely in back-to-back games to start the year. This could be his last chance to keep that streak alive, as the 1-0 is on the outside corner. Count evens up at 1-1. Comfort just grinding through this Nebraska heat. 86 pitches now, 53 for strikes. This is 1-1, bounces away from Wickham, and that allows Ryan to take 3rd with 2 outs.
Peabody starting to get hot in the bullpen, as this most likely will be Anthony Comfort's last inning of work here. But nonetheless, so far, Anthony Comfort has done a great job on the mound, being able to minimize the amount of runs that he is allowing for the Rail Riders to score and is keeping his team in the lead here. The
pitch is in there for a strike, 2-2. Peabody's hat keeps falling off in the bullpen when he throws. 2-2 the count now as Comfort looks to set down Baker. And he does. Back-to-back strikeouts to conclude the inning and possibly conclude his outing. It's 3-1 Cropdusters going to the bottom of the fifth when we come back. Bottom of the fifth inning, Cropdusters lead the Rail Riders 3-1. We've seen 5 innings of work on the mound from Cropdusters starter Anthony Comfort, and now Garrett Vosica back out there trying to match that with his 5th inning of work. As he fires a low strike on the outside to Thatcher Poteet.
Fun fact about Thatcher Poteet, he is out of West Virginia Wesleyan University, and he is one of 3 players on this Cropdusters team that is actually from West Virginia Wesleyan University. So all 3 of them made the trip up here. AJ Ventry, Jack Tilton, and Thatcher Poteet all made the trip up here to Omaha for the summer to play in the league.
He hits that one to right center, carrying pretty well, but cowed out there by Deathridge for out number 1. One of the most well-struck balls we've seen in this one, but nothing to show for it. And now Easton Barnes steps in after 2 pitches in and out.
From Highland Community College, number 22, Easton Barnes.
Barnes struck out looking back in the 3rd. That 3rd inning has been the story of the game, as the first pitch is taken. Just up and away, ball 1. 3 runs for the Cropdusters on 3 errors by the Rail Riders in that 3rd. As this is hit on the ground to second, Chandler has time and makes the play. 2 quick outs. Vosica trying to make a case that he could stay in this game for a while. Looking sharp still in the 5th.
Something I'm a little surprised about in this league so far, from we've been broadcasting this for the last 2 weeks. We haven't seen a lot of broken bats. I know we saw one earlier today. Whit Rogers broke that over his leg. But besides that, we haven't really seen a lot of broken bats in the league so far, which I am honestly surprised about, because we've seen a lot of pitchers being able to throw inside and out. And usually when you have those type of pitchers, you have a lot of broken bats with the wood bats here. But besides that, we've only seen really one. Today was my very first one I've seen. So.
Good spot for strike 1 to Nathan Wickham, the catcher. 0-1 is just up and away, a ball and a strike. Wickham singled and scored the game's first run back in the 3rd. Although it was Caleb Copeland pinch running for him, so technically the run to Copeland, but Wickham got it started. 1-2 the count now after a swing and a miss. Here's the pitch, and it got him looking. Vosika finishes 5 innings. And we go to the 6th. Pitchers looking as good now as they did all the way back in the first inning. It's 3-1 Cropdusters as we move along. We're back here in the 6th. Oh, hey, Whit Rogers. How's it going, my friend? Having some fun in that Rail Rider dugout. Staying hydrated, having some food to chew on. Oh, man, he's had some fun today. We saw him before the game, standing at the first baseline, a standoff after the national anthem, and then breaking the bat over his leg. Having some fun with our first base camera over there. It's 3-1 Cropdusters here in the 6th. Go ahead, Max.
Tyler, I would say Whit Rogers is a fan favorite, as we've seen here today so far. It just keeps adding on to the fanatics going on. We had the standoff here earlier before the game even started, and then the very first inning, he broke that bat over his leg. And now look at he's giving the camera some love here. So all around fun here in the Corn Belt League on a hot June day.
You'll have even more fun if the Rail Riders can claw their way back into this thing. They're still down by 2. As we've got a new pitcher on the mound. The day is done for Anthony Comfort. He gives way to the right-hander for the Cropdusters, Blake Peabody. He's making just his 2nd appearance and his first since last Monday against the Haymakers when he went a third of an inning, allowed 2 walks and 2 earned runs, so his ERA is up at 42. We've got more action in the Duster bullpen. Braxton Wilhelm is out there. And then movement as well in the Rail Rider pen, even though Vosika seems to be doing all right, keeping the pitch count down at 65 pitches through 5.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Cropdusters from William Penn
Biggest thing
University,
here for the Cropdusters, and especially Peabody, is you got to minimize as much as you can here. You can't let anything spiral out of control with the lead going into the 6th inning here. You're in a great spot to win the game. Only 6 more outs here to win the ball game and get them that 2nd win on the year, because so far set last place in the league at 1-5. They got to tag on a few wins going into the next couple weeks if they want to have a shot of even contending in the league going into the middle and later halves of the season.
So it's Braden Artzer in the 6th, leading things off. And he swings first pitch, grounds it out to 2nd. And the play is made out there for out number 1. We do have a new 2nd baseman with Wilhelm moving out to the bullpen. That's Dakota Hogan. So some changes made defensively for the Cropdusters as Alex Hall steps in. And it's Matthew Kolfkin from Creighton University out in the pen for the Rail Riders, too. So a lot of movement here in the late innings. Close game. As the first pitch to Hall is taken on the outside for ball 1. The final line for Anthony Comfort, 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 run allowed. It was an unearned run, and 5 strikeouts. In line for the win if his bullpen can do the job in the final 2 frames. 1-1 is the count on Hall. And that one sails high, 2 balls and a strike.
This is is also the time here for the Rail Riders to get those team ABs going. Anything counts in this later half of the game, especially when you're down by only 2 runs. You got to get anything impossible. You got to take any opportunity you can to get runners on base, especially with only 1 out here going and a 2-2 count. You got to do anything you can to try to tag on a few more runs and hopefully either tie the game here going in late or actually even going ahead here.
2 balls, 2 strikes after the foul ball. Grounded to third on a couple hops. Suarez puts some heat on the throw and picks up the out. Hall is retired, and there are 2 down in the 6th.
From Minnesota State Community College, number 0, Liam Kaminsky.
So now Liam Kaminsky, Peabody making quick work of this Rail Rider top of the order here in the 6th inning. First pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Kaminsky struck out swinging in the first and then collected an RBI single back in the 4th. It's been the only dent in the scoreboard so far for the Riders, as there's a sword. High fastball, and he cuts right through that one, 1-1.
Tyler, you mentioned Peabody in the bullpen. His hat was falling off many times, and it looks like that trend followed him out to the mound here in the actual game as it flew off of him 2 pitches ago, and he's got to seems like he's got to fix it every time. We just saw it again. His hat flew off. Seems like he's fixing it every time he throws a pitch. So maybe that's a case of he needs a haircut, maybe, or he's got too big of a hat on his head.
I think it's just the nature of his delivery. He tilts his head and neck way off to the side, almost at a 45-degree angle when he lets the ball go. So gravity is gravity. That thing's coming off. Here comes the 1-2 to Kaminsky. On the ground to first base. It hit the thigh of the first baseman. Tough play at the bag, and they got the out. Barnes made the play and flipped to Peabody, who hustled over. It's still 3-1 Cropdusters going to the bottom of the 6th, looking for win number 2 on the season. Got a pitching change here for the Rail Riders. Matthew Kelfkin out of Creighton University takes the baseball now. He's made 1 appearance this season. He pitched the 4th and 5th inning on Thursday against the Phil Ballers. Went 2 innings, giving up a hit, 2 walks, an earned run, and striking out 3, so it comes in with an ERA of 3.5.
Tyler, seems like we first started with lefty-lefty starters, and now we have a righty-righty pitcher. So both teams looking at the exact same thing, as we both go from lefties to righties. So now both teams have to transition from seeing both lefties, and now we have to see both righties. And we have to see. So far, the Cropdusters or the Rail Riders didn't really seem that they could have done the best job at seeing a righty pitcher. Now we can see what the Cropdusters do with a righty pitcher.
We'll see how the hitters adjust. It starts with Anthony Comfort, who rolls one toward third. Tough play for Hall, but he gets it in time. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And you see that arm slot change. It's much more underneath for Kelfkin. Definitely going to be a tough adjustment for these hitters.
Big adjustment. You go from over the top, really, in a really 12-6 curveball over there in the first time by Vosica, and just really over the top. And now you go from a right-hander who is more of a 3/4 side or 3/4 slot sidearm type of guy, and he's also a righty. So I'd actually call that more of a submarine. I changed my words.
Ball 1 to Trayton Kozel. Interesting thing to note, the Cropdusters have not left a single man on base, yet they've got 3 runs here. As that's taken for a strike.
Kofkin working a great slider on that last pitch right there. If you're a submarine type of guy and you got a slider and you can work that pitch for a strike, that's got to be one of your most dangerous pitches, because that ball moves way more than just an over-the-hand top slider. So Kofkin really working that slider really well from the really submarine slot.
2-1 the count. Kelfkin to Kozel. And that's popped up. Shallow left. Tough play. It's down for a hit. And Kozel takes a wide turn and stops at first base. It ended up in no man's land between the shortstop Baker and the left fielder Lehman. And a single with 1 out.
Top of the order, the shortstop from West Virginia Wesleyan University, number 6, Jack Tilton.
So 5 base hits now for the Cropdusters, and that brings up Jack Tilton, who has 1 of those 5. He flew out to left in the first and singled, eventually scored with the help of a stolen base and 2 throwing errors in the third. Takes outside, ball 1. Trayton Kozel has not attempted a steal this year, as that one also outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Unlike we've seen earlier with both of our starting pitchers, Kofkin not really paying a lot of attention over there to Kozel on first base, and Kozel really taking that healthy lead. I wouldn't be surprised if we may see more of aggression. There we go, a little.
Just a flinch over, keeping Kozel close. Now ready with the 2-0. Upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Rail Riders would hate to give up an insurance run. Already trailing 2 with just 3 outs to work with in the top of the 7th. As that is low, a 4-pitch walk to Tilton. 2 on, 1 out for Braxton Wilhelm. Or check that, Dakota Hogan, who replaced him defensively.
He's now batting for the Cropdusters from Highland Community
Is going
College,
to
number
stay in
34,
and pinch hit.
Hogan.
So Hogan with 2 on, 1 out in the place of Wilhelm, who is still getting warmed up in the bullpen. First pitch to Hogan. Nearly caught a piece of him, but inside, ball 1. Hogan is 2 for 10 as a hitter this year. It has driven in a run. Out of Highland Community College. One 1-0 pitch, catches the strike zone, and it's even at 1-1.
Tyler, I was taking a look in the Cropdusters bullpen, and Wilhelm looks like we are going to see a mix of a changeup, two-seam, and four-seam fastball, and a slider in there that has a lot of bite to it. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw a quick 7th inning here to get it going.
Check back again to the runner at second, and Kozel gets back to the bag. One pitch, up and away from Kelfkin. 2-1 the count. Trayton Kozel is at second. He singled with 1 out. Jack Tilton at first. He walked. Now the 2-1. Swing and a knuckler to the right side. Chandler charges in and throws to first in time. The occupying runners both move up, so now 2 in scoring position with 2 out for Thatcher Kozel.
Thatcher Kozel, we saw in his last at-bat, put that ball well over the 325 sign, just hooked foul just a little bit, and gave those 2 spectators out there a souvenir to get for in that foul ball home run.
Wind blowing out to right field. As you said, he certainly put home run distance on it, but could not keep it fair. Kozel popped out to third in the first and struck out swinging in the fourth. Checking the radar, those expected thunderstorms are just now starting to develop over southeast Nebraska. We should be able to conclude this game without any issues, but still have to watch out for that 8 o'clock game between the Royal Blue Dogs and the Bombers.
Last thing we want is a repeat of last week of what happened. That hailstorm that we all got hit with was there. That was, we knew it was coming, we just didn't know how bad it was going to be, and for all of our equipment out there outside, it was really quick of work that we had to do to bring that all in to keep it all safe, but that hailstorm made it look like the field we were in December. So much hail, it looked like it was snow on the field, so crazy time here at the Corn Belt League, but the very opening day.
Big swing and miss, no balls, 2 strikes. I mean, it is College World Series season, and there's that old tale as old as time that when the College World Series comes around, the weather goes absolutely bonkers around here, and seems to have arrived a bit early. Searing hot temperatures, hailstorms. What's next? Here's the 1-2 pitch. This is hit in the air. Right field. It's down for a hit. It will score 2, and the Cropdusters make it 5-1 on a big hit by Thatcher Kozel. A 4-run lead in the 6th. A 2-strike, 2-out knock to score 2.
Big time hit by Thatcher Kozel, put 2 RBIs on his name, and gives Peabody, maybe even Wilhelm, great insurance runs to go into the 7th inning and look to get 3 more outs, and hopefully give the Cropdusters their 2nd win on their brand new season in the Corn Belt League.
The top of the order doing what it's supposed to do, getting on base and crossing the plate on big hits as Jovan Suarez, the 3rd baseman, takes a strike. He singled in the 2nd, popped out to short in the 4th inning. Braxton Wilhelm has ceased his warm-up in the bullpen for now. We'll see if the Cropdusters stick with Peabody or make the move. This is down the line, a fair ball. Kozel will stop at second. It's another base hit. As Suarez pulls his hands in, has to push Whit Rogers off the bag at first to get there, but 2 on with 2 out now.
The left fielder from Southeast Community College, number 36, Cade Owens.
So 3 singles in the inning. It was 3 singles in the 3-run 3rd inning for the Cropdusters as well. Timely hits. As Cade Owens, the left fielder, steps in and takes high for ball 1.
Seems like the Cropdusters hitters have really adjusted well to this submarine pitching, especially on another sidearm that we've seen. We saw first one, we saw Vosica was left side, now we see Kovkin on the right side, and it's sidearm. They have adjusted really well with multiple hits here in this 1 inning alone.
1-1 the count. Coughlin looks in for the sign. Brings it home to Owens, and he reaches out, pokes it. It dies on the dirt. He might beat this out. He did! A fourth single as the second baseman, Chandler, had to wait for the ball to roll to him as, like you've been talking about all day, that lip between the grass and the dirt killed the ball, and it ends up being an infield hit. Bases loaded.
That's that thing right there when I talk about the turf fields that most of these college kids play on is they can wait for that ball and they can still make the play because that ball is coming in really fast off the turf. But when you adjust to natural grass and this long grass in the outfield, you kind of the ball kind of travels a little slower, and when you wait on that ball, it's just you're just asking for a problem in there, and exactly what just happened. And now it's bases loaded for the Cropdusters.
Thatcher Poteet grounds one up the middle. Much easier play for Chandler as he beats Owens to the bag. The inning is over, but two more for the Cropdusters. Their lead is 5-1. They look to close the book on their second win of the season when we come back.
The Cropdusters 5, Rail Riders.
Top of the seventh inning, it's Braxton Wilhelm on to close this thing out for the Cropdusters, making his second appearance of the season on the mound. He pitched last Tuesday against the Bombers, throwing the seventh inning, going one inning, allowing a hit, no walks, no runs, and a strikeout. And he's tasked with preserving the 4-run lead and facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters of the Rail Riders, starting with Whit Rogers.
Texas A&M Texarkana, number 51, Whit Rogers.
Defensive change as well for the Cropdusters. At second base now, it's Dakota Hogan taking Wilhelm's spot as he moves to the mound, and a first pitch strike to Whit Rogers. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin taking you through our two-game Tuesday night baseball presentation. This is popped into shallow right center field. It's down for a base hit. Whit Rogers knocks one down in the outfield, and he's on to lead off the seventh.
Whit Rogers with the classic duck snort type of hit, I would like to call it. Just right, gets in between all three fielders right there. And, you know, in the book, you put that in as a line drive, and not much more you can ask for because it goes in as a hit, and it starts the Rail Riders up in the top of the seventh inning to hopefully string on a couple more and erase the 4-run deficit here.
Number 40, Jackson Van Pelt.
So now it will be Jackson Van Pelt as Rogers is replaced at first base for a pinch runner. Van Pelt, a pop out and a fly out today as he takes low and away ball one. The pinch runner is number 30 for the Rail Riders. That would be Cedric Dunwald, as this is taken for a strike, 1-1 the count. to bend out of the way of that one. Van Pelt works it to a 2-1 count. For the Rail Riders, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors today. The Cropdusters, 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. This one is up. 3-1 the count. Rail Riders trying to make it interesting here down the stretch. Make Wilhelm earn this final 3 outs. The 3-1 to Van Pelt, down near his feet, and a walk brings the tying run to the on-deck circle as there are 2 on with nobody out.
Some life going here for the Rail Riders in the last inning. They got a hit and then they got a walk, so stringing a few things together, all you can ask for if you're on the Rail Riders is those team ABs from your hitters going up to the plate. And right now we see Wilhelm not really working too consistent in the zone, and you got to use that to your advantage in the last inning and hopefully string a few on, because we saw that yesterday in the last game of the first game of yesterday's 2 doubleheader. We saw in the last inning the Bombers kind of sort of string on a few runners in the last inning, and this is exactly what the Rail Riders need to do, and they currently are doing with no outs here. And Wilhelm's got to minimize as much as he can with the lead.
0-1 the count to Garrett Deathridge, who lays that one off, 1-1. PJ Laux, one of those big name hitters that was out of the lineup today, is pinch running at first for Jackson Van Pelt. 1-1 the count on Deathridge, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a fly out to right. And he swings through that one to fall behind 1-2. Dunwald at second, Laux at first. Cole Ryan on deck. Here's the 1-2. Both runners take off. It's a swing and a miss, and they will both steal. So now second and third with 1 out. And Cole Ryan will come to the dish after Deathridge strikes out for a second time.
Now batting for the Rail Riders from Mount Mercy, number 16, Cole Ryan.
Cole Ryan picking up his first AB of the day after he pinch ran for Ben Raveling in the 5th. First pitch to Ryan is outside, ball 1.
Wilhelm really going to a slider in this last inning, not being able to throw it for a strike. I don't know really why he keeps going to it. If he can find it, then that'd be an amazing pitch to go to, because it has a lot of bite to it, like I mentioned earlier when he was in the bullpen. But so far, just not really being able to control it, and keeps missing on that outer half of the plate, and it's not being called a strike. And he keeps throwing it early in the count, and that's why he's back in 0-2. And
ooh, watch out! Way up and in. It's 3-0. Ryan had a big day yesterday as the 10 hitter for the Rail Riders, going 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, a 4-pitch walk. Tying run is coming to the plate in the form of Nolan Chandler. And now we're going to have a mound meeting of sorts. There is not action in the Cropduster bullpen, as Wilhelm will have to settle things down here. Things are getting away from him with still 2 outs to go in the 7th.
Wilhelm walking that last batter really wasn't the worst case scenario, because now you have all bases. Now everything is a force out, so really you could get that double play and end the game right here. Like any base, having that runner go getting walked right there, not really the worst case scenario. Just Jared Jones having to make that mound visit to try to calm Wilhelm down after not really throwing a strike in all 3 last at bats. But nonetheless, here he could get out of this game in 1 pitch here.
First pitch to Nolan Chandler, inside, ball 1. Chandler struck out looking in the 3rd, popped out to first base in the 5th. Dunwald at 3rd, Laux at 2nd, Ryan at 1st. There's a strike, 1-1. A single and 2 walks in this 7th inning. There's a strike on the outside. 1-2 the count.
There's that slider right there that I mentioned earlier. He couldn't really get that for a strike, and we just saw a beautiful 1-1 strike right there. Now he's got one pitch more away to get that second out.
Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Chandler down on strikes, and the Cropdusters are 1 out away. And it'll be up to the pinch hitter, Derek Einertson. They'll bring in one of their best bats as the tying run with 2 outs.
Wilhelm's done a great job after the mound visit to really control that slider as his best pitch, and he got that, use that last 2 pitches. We just saw it again, and that I would probably say he's thrown that so far 75% of the time in his outing. But for the most part, we've seen it really look really good, and for the most part, we've seen it look not the best, and it's really inconsistent with it. But when it's on, so far we've seen it's on, and he got that big strikeout with it.
2-0 the count. Einertson coming into the game, team leader in hits, runs, RBI, and stolen bases. And that one hits him. It'll force in a run and put the tying run on base. It's now 5-2 as everybody will move up 90 feet.
Big time moment right here for the Rail Riders as they have slowly are gaining a little momentum here in this last inning of their life, and slowly gaining some life here as they now cut the deficit down to 3. So really puts the winning run, or I guess go-ahead run here at the plate, tying run at first base.
And that man at the plate will be Gabriel Baker, the 10-hitting shortstop, taking a first pitch strike. Baker 0 for 2 with a fly out to right field and a strikeout. And now he falls behind 0-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Wilhelm just 1 strike away. Cropdusters trying to bring their record to 2-5. Here it comes. On the ground, high chopper, tough play. The throw to first is in time for the final out. The Cropdusters take it by a final of 5-2 over the Rail Riders. It got interesting at the end, but win number 2 on the young season for the Cropdusters as they take game 1 of our Tuesday night doubleheader.
Big time win here for the Cropdusters. Anthony Comfort led by him on the mound. Great pitching performance by him. Second great performance by him on the mound this season so far. 2 great starts here for Anthony Comfort. Amazing game by them. The hitters also as well. I know, Tyler, you mentioned earlier that they are not really the best hitting team in the league so far, but really today they stringed along those hits. Even if not a lot of them were too powerful of hits, we had Thatcher Kozel bring in those 2 insurance runs there in the later half of the game in the 6th inning. So they got those hits when it matters, and they really took advantage of those walks that they had against. But on the other hand, we talked about Garrett Vosica for the Rail Riders. Pitched a great game. He had those few rough innings. He had that 3rd inning where he gave up 3. But nonetheless, both pitchers today pitched an amazing starts. And I know that so far for the Cropdusters, Anthony Comfort is by far their ace.
So we will take a quick break and be back with our player of the game up next on the Corn Belt League Network. 5-2 victory for the Cropdusters. They win it over the Rail Riders behind a 3-run third, 2-run sixth, and a strong day out on the mound from starting pitcher Anthony Comfort. Tyler Reidy here with our player of the game today, Mr. Thatcher Kozel. Thatcher, you were a big part of today's victory, and this victory snapped a 4-game losing streak for your team, the Cropdusters.
Yep.
So how big was this win for you guys?
You know, it was huge. We've been trying different things every game, kind of mixing things up, trying to get the boys going, trying to get them excited to be at the park. It's been hard with the hot weather, but we just came out today and showed we could do it.
Now, the big contribution from you was in that 2-run sixth inning. You drove in both runs on a 2-run single. What were you looking for in that at bat, and just take us through how that played out for you?
You know, I just kind of stepped up there looking for a pitch in my zone. Didn't really want to chase anything, didn't want to give it away in AB, and he threw me something I could handle, and I made it count.
And then last thing, your offense has been a bit of a struggle to start the year, hitting around 140 as a team to start the year, but picked up 8 hits in these 6 innings of offense today. How important was that to get the offense rolling here today?
Oh, you know, it was a great start. We're looking to be nothing but up from here, and feel like we're finally starting to get some things figured out.
All right, Thatcher Kozel, our player of the game, and a 5-2 victory for the Cropdusters. They take down the Rail Riders. Stay tuned for the second game of our Tuesday Night Baseball doubleheaders, the Royal Blue Dogs and the Bombers, coming up next on the Corn Belt League Network.